Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Bridwell alongside Kevin Robinson, and Coach Cross Country is now underway. A couple weeks ago you ran the Brooks Twilight Classic. We'll get your thoughts on that in a moment, but a little bit of time off now before you head to Vanderbilt this weekend. How do you approach a little bit of an extended period of time off, and how do you feel about that off week?
We needed it. We got a little later start this year than normal, so as a team, we weren't really ready to compete at the Twilight. We kind of treated it as a training opportunity. I think we had 7 practices before that race. So, yeah, most of the guys and girls coming in were a little sore, a little beat up just from having just started the cross country season. So, we needed that extra time of preparation in between the Twilight and the Vanderbilt meet coming up to get some more mileage in the legs and work through some aches and pains and some initial tightness that we're going to see every year when we start the season. So gave us an opportunity to get in a few more long runs under our belt and a couple more solid workouts. And I feel like, that being said, it put us in a better position to be ready to compete for the upcoming meet.
Going back, and it's been a couple of weeks since that Brooks Twilight Classic, and you had to get into it pretty quick, as you mentioned. Not a lot of practices before you jump right into competition. Did you get what you wanted to out of it? I know placing and everything is important, but really in a meet like that, you're just trying to get the season started, kind of establish things.
Well, the reason we run is to compete. We obviously want to go out there and compete and win. Ultimately, that's what we want to do. Now, what I told the group going out there is I was looking for mental toughness during the race and competitive composure and to compete with everything they had at that time. And I think for the most part that component was successful. We did not place nearly as well as I would have liked, nor as the team would have liked. But as a coach, you're always looking for some positives within the race, and I feel like we did compete at a relatively high level considering where we are in the season. So I felt good about how we competed. We had a couple that just weren't quite there, but then we had a few others that really stepped up and actually ran faster than they did in previous years. So, all in all, as a team, which is what cross country is all about, it's all about your top 5. I think all in all, we did a pretty good job. Obviously, we want to continue to get better, continue to be much more competitive, but as long as we compete as hard as we can and put it on the line when it matters the most, I think this team continues to develop and do a good job.
And I know in this little bit of an off period going into Vanderbilt this weekend, it's going to be that old adage, as you say, 1 to 2, whether it's the first meet, first game, seasons. You're looking for the big jump here coming into the second meet.
Right. And as we progress through the season, the emphasis will come off of being as competitive as possible to, hey, we need to step up and beat some people, and I think this team is doing a good job so far, and I'm really pleased with the attitudes. I'm really pleased with the work ethic. We've done some different things this year to try to prepare them, and I do expect them to perform better this weekend than they did 2 weeks ago. One of the challenges this week is going to be that we step up to the 8K for the men, which is a little longer than what they did at the Twilight. So, a little longer race can be a little daunting, especially to some of the younger kids. But the girls are going to be running the same distance. We had a couple of girls that really stepped up and did a great job at the Twilight. So, the goals are for our front runners to continue doing what they're doing, and for our 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to close the gap, to not let 90 seconds be between number 1 and number 7. We need to work together as a team. We need to run tough. And if we can do that and close that gap, then we will finish higher and be more competitive.
Coach, you're talking about this weekend up at Vanderbilt. It's going to be at Percy Warner Park. The race starts at 9 for the men, at 10 o'clock for the women, for any of the fans that are and alumni that are up in the Nashville area. Finally, going into that, you talked about what you want to accomplish. Talk about the field you're going to see up at Vanderbilt, and do you change anything up roster-wise, or do you take more on a road trip like this going into the second weekend, or how does it shake out?
Well, I think the primary difference for us this weekend is Stephen Tankersley. We rested him for the Twilight. He's going to be one of our front runners on the men's side. This will be his opening race this weekend, so I expect his presence to definitely help the guys improve quite a bit. On the women's side, we're still without Kristen Adams. She's hopefully another 1 or 2 weeks out. Her development has come along very, very well, but you know, I'm not in a hurry with her. I'm trying to keep her rested and make sure we get through the season without any more injuries. So I feel like, you know, we're in a good place to compete well. We just need to go out there and get tough, run together, work together, close the gaps, and, you know, stay positive. If we can do those things, be willing to push through some barriers and hurt a little more, then, you know, I think we can step up and do a really good job.
All right, Coach, as always, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.
Sounds good.
That is head coach Kevin Robinson. I'm Jeff Brightwell for the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.